Alright, all praise to Yahweh B'Shem HaMashiach Malak Yabashai, man. Pum Yashar! Pum Yashar! Pum Yashar! Pum Yashar! Pum Yashar! Pum Yashar! Y'all brothers got any questions? No questions? Count all praise to the Most High. Right? So the brother has been instructing y'all. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and give me verse 3, Jonah. Right? I want you to give me the book of Proverbs chapter 4 and give me verse 32. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and 3. Throughout, I want you to give me the book of Philemon chapter 1 and 16. Give me 1 Corinthians 15 and start at 1. Start at 1.
1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 1.
So both of our brothers, right? We out here to build up the sheep, man. Read.
God.
Because we can get on Esau all day. We can get on Moab. We can get on Ishmael. But it's our job to build up our people. So read that.
Moreover, brethren, I declare unto you the gospel which I preach unto you, which also ye have received, and wherein ye stand, by which also ye are saved, if ye keep in memory.
If you what?
If ye keep in memory.
Gotta go in one ear and not the other.
If ye keep in memory.
You forgot everything that was brought out today.
If ye keep in memory.
The Lord says you're only saved if you keep in memory. Read.
What I preach unto you.
What?
What I preach unto you.
So, brother, you gotta keep this in your memory, brother. Right? Are you gonna have these precepts? Did you write them down? How you gonna remember this, brother? Right? Give me Acts 17:11. Right? We will have a brother write these precepts down for you. So when you go home, you can look it up and pull a church of Berean. Give me Acts 17:11. Give me 2 Timothy 2:15. Right? Can we get a brother to write the precept down for the brother?
This is the book of Acts chapter 17 verse 11.
Bring it out.
These were more noble than those in Thessalonica.
So you had the church of Berean. The apostle Paul said that the church of Berean, they were more noble than the church of Thessalonica. And they're right next to each other. Right. Now let's see what made this church more noble.
And that they received the word with all readiness of mind.
And that's what you're doing, brother. Right? You're receiving the word with all readiness of mind. Right, go on.
And search the scriptures down.
And then what?
And search the scriptures down.
And then what?
And search the scriptures down.
So, brother, you're receiving the word with all readiness of mind, and now you have to search the scriptures daily, whether what?
Whether those things were so.
And you have to confirm these words according to your understanding, brother. Because we could be up here calling a book, chapter, and verse and reading something completely different, brother. Right? Just completely going off doing our own will. So you got a Bible, right? You got a 1611, or you got a King James version, you got the Apocrypha. So now you got to go and search the scriptures daily to see if what we're Acts 17 and 11 and 1 Corinthians chapter 15, 1 through 2. Right? To confirm to see what we're being brought out is true, right? Right? Give me Philippians 2 and 12. This for you, brother. Right? When all this place goes down, every man's going to be rewarded according to his own labor. And give me 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and give me verse 6, man. We all got to work out our own salvation, man. I can't bank on Jonah to save me, man. Right? WFI can't save me. Berean can't save me. Right? Only Yahweh B'Shem HaMashiach is going to save me, man. Right. And the Most High is going to render unto every man according to their works. Not his works, or his works, or his works, but your works, brother. What you put in, that's what you expect to get out of it, man. So like the brother's going to, if you lukewarm, or if you take this if it's something to do, and then after this you can go check out the reggae concert, or then you can go and do God knows what on a Saturday night, then ultimately, brother, the Most High is going to take that spirit from you, man. Right. But if you keep in memory and the what's being brought out, you're going to get built up, man. Right, so read that. What I call
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 6. I have planted, Apollos watered, but Yahweh gave the increase. So then neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but Yahweh that giveth the increase. Now he that planteth and he that watereth are one.
Galatians 6 and 3. So the Most High is going to get the increase. We're just planting a seed, brother. Right? We can't force you to understand anything. All we can do is give you the precepts, link it up, break down the scriptures, but if you put in the work, the Most High is going to get an increase, man. Right. And that's how it's been going all night, brother. You kind of left, you came back, brothers. Amos planted the seed, Araya watered, we giving you a little bit of light, and Yahweh B'Shem HaMashiach is going to get an increase, man. Right. But you got to desire this, man. Right? Give me what I call it, Galatians 6 and 3.
Galatians 6 and verse 3. For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. But let every man prove his own work.
No, prove another man's work.
Let every man prove his own work.
He bank on another man for salvation.
Let every man prove his own work.
He blame another man when he falls.
Let every man prove his own work.
Every man got to prove their own work, brother. Every man, hey, I don't go home with these brothers, man. Right? It's up to these brothers. When they go home, it's between them and Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. It's up to this brother to study, man. It's up to this brother to pray. It's up to this brother to fast, man. I can pray for the brother. I can fast with the brother. But after that, if the brother goes off and does God knows what, that's who I am, brother. Right? And as it is with you, we can only guide you and show you, but it's up to you to apply it. Read that again in Galatians.
God, Galatians 6 and verse 4. But let every man prove his own work.
You got to prove your own work. You have to get the fringes, brother. You got to seek out where to get them. Right? You got to stop shaving your head, brother. Right? You have to come and keep the Sabbath day, brother. You got to come up and get the word, brother. You make that checklist and you prove to yourself that you won't serve the Most High, man. You don't got to prove nothing to me, brother. I can't. Give me Revelation 20 and 13. I don't have the final say-so, man. Naquan does not have the final say-so on brother salvation or the destruction, man. No man up here does, man. Right? Yahweh Shah, he's going to judge the quick and the dead. Give me that 2 Timothy 4 and 1. Read that.
This is the book of Revelation chapter 20 and verse 13. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. And they were judged every man.
And they were what?
And they were judged every man.
Who's judging every man? Who has the authority to execute judgment? Yahweh Shah. The Heavenly Father gave Yahweh Shah the authority to execute judgment because he's the Son of Man. Right? Read. That's John 5:20 on down.
And they were judged every man according to their works.
According to their beliefs.
According to their work.
According to how long they stood up and heard the word.
According to their work.
According to their works, brother. Right? The Most High is going to judge every man, every one of us, according to our works. So if we're slothful, if we're lukewarm, we're going to be destroyed, brother. Right? I can fall out the truth just like the next man. The next man can get put to death for adultery like any man out here, right? And even the Apostle Peter in Acts chapter 10, 30 on down, he said, I perceive that God is no respecter of persons, man. That's what Peter the Apostle said, man. The Most High don't care how tall you are. He don't care how many precepts you know. He don't care about none of that. He want to see if you are keeping the works that's written, man. That's all that matters, brother. Everything else is vanity. Read that. Read what I call it.
Look at 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 1. I charge thee therefore before God and the Lord Yahweh Shah.
No, they charge you before Torah.
Before God and the Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach.
Charge you before Naquan.
Before God and the Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Who shall judge the quick and the dead?
Yahweh Shah going to
judge the quick and the dead.
Yahweh Shah is going to judge the living and the dead, brother. Yahweh Shah is going to do that, man. Now, and when the Lord could come anytime, brother. But you know the precepts. The Lord shall come like a what? Like a thief in the night, man. Right, give me that in Matthew 24 and 34, and Mark 13 and 35, and 1 Corinthians 5 and 1, and 2 Peter chapter 3 and 10, man. Right, the Lord is coming like a thief in the night, man. Right, read that.
This is the book of Matthew chapter 24 verse 44.
Hey, all y'all can break loose right now, brother. Brothers should get a notification a black Hebrew Israelite blew up a damn building, man. Right, the police are on their way. If you see any of the black Hebrew Israelites, you know them by their fringes. They may have a club in their hand and that book, huh? If you see them, call the police immediately. Turn them in. A bounty is on the black Hebrew Israelites. Wanted dead or alive, man. Right, for all manner of domestic terrorism, huh? So the most that can happen right now, brother. While we're teaching, brother, that building can explode. All hell can break loose. That bomb can go off, brother. Right? It could be an EMP attack, and all this lights and all this music gonna be shut down, man. They all gonna be running and screaming, running this way, going down, women and children. They gonna be screaming, and you gonna be there with no fringes on, brother. No fringes on, naked, with no garment, and then the Most High ultimately is gonna pluck you out, brother. That's why the Lord said, I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments. Read that.
Therefore, be ye also ready. Be what? Be ye also ready. Do what? Be ye also ready.
Be ye also ready.
That's right.
And the brother get a fringe is step one, man. And get him on side and I praise to Yahweh. Right? And that's there, man. That's love right there. Give me Deuteronomy 22 and 12 real quick, man. The brother got fringes already, man. Right? Descendants, man. Right? Deuteronomy 22 and 12.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, and verse 12. Thou shalt make thee fringes.
What the Lord say?
Thou shalt make thee fringes.
What the Lord say?
Thou shalt make thee fringes.
The brother got fringes on. Hey, please see y'all by she not a shine, man.
Read it again. Thou shalt make thee fringes.
Just be a nigga.
Thou shalt make thee fringes upon the four corners of thy mesh.
And now you keeping the commandments, brother. Fringes on, man. She never shine, man. Hey, brother, do your brother, do that all over, brother. Man. Give me Revelation 16 and 15. Drop that. Give me Matthew chapter 22 and give me verse 7, man. Right, brother? Throw that. Hey, brother, what it says? 90 degrees out here, brother. Hey, so what, brother? We're going to serve the Lord, man. Right, read that.
Revelation.
Brother, what you doing, brother? Oh, the brother got fringes on again, man. Oh, it was too small. Okay, oh, it was too small. Oh, I gave him a shirt. Oh, we said that. See the one real quick. Gave him a shirt. On his back. All praise to the Most High. 1 Samuel 18 and 1. Read that. 1 Samuel 18 and 1. Right, bring it out.
It's the
1 Samuel 18 and 1.
1 Samuel 18 and 1. And it came to pass when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul that the soul.
Hey, look at this love brothers are doing, man. Hey, brother, love you up here, brother. Brothers love you up here, man. Hey, read that 1 Samuel 18 and 1.
1 Samuel 18 and 1. And it came to pass when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul that the soul of Jonathan, was knit with the soul of David.
Oh, my soul is knit with you, brother. My soul is knit with you. Read. Hey, get your whole body shit out with your hand, man.
And Jonathan loved him as his own son.
Hey, just a nigga.
And Jonathan loved him as his own son.
What we doing with this brother?
And Jonathan loved him as his own son.
How we feel about this king?
And Jonathan loved him as his own son.
We love you as our own son, brother.
That's right. Verse 2. And Saul took him that day and would let him go no more. Oh, Salakia. And Saul took him that day and would let him go no more home to his father's house. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant.
Read.
Because he loved him as his own soul.
Because he loved his brother as his own soul, brother. We giving you nothing but brotherly love up here, brother. Read.
And Jonathan stripped himself. And what? And Jonathan stripped himself.
What the minute Lord doing?
And Jonathan stripped himself.
And what are the Israelites doing?
And Jonathan stripped himself.
Taking their clothes off, brother. Taking their garments off for you.
That's right.
Jonathan stripped himself
Off the robe that was upon him and gave it to David.
and what?
And gave it to David.
And then what?
And gave it to David.
Read.
And his garments,
And his garment. Read.
even to his sword,
Even his sword. And what up?
and to his bow,
And his bow. Read.
and to his girdle.
And his girdle. Read.
And David went out whithersoever Saul sent him.
And that's brotherly love, man.
That's
Any other way, man. We went. Give me the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, and give me verse 2. What I call? What else I call?
Matthew 22 and 7.
And I want Revelation 16 and 15 too. Give me what I just called. Ecclesiasticus 25 and 2. Start at 1.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
And 3 things I was beautified.
So the Lord said that 3 things I was beautified. So when I see 3 things, it's beautiful in my eyes. This is what Sirach said.
and stood up beautiful both before God and men. The unity of brethren.
The what?
The unity of brethren.
That's not talking about cookouts, brother. That's not talking about we all damn do a cypher with 3, 5, 40 bucks a week, man. That's not talking about buying brothers a whole bunch of bottles of Hennessy, man. This is the unity of brethren right here, man. And the brethren are the Israelites, man. Right there, and these brothers from all over the country, man. Some from Atlanta, North Carolina, damn New York, Philly, Jersey, Baltimore, DC, and they came together to give you love through the spirit of Yahweh. Read.
The love of neighbors.
The love of neighbors.
A man and a wife that agree together.
And this is the unity of neighbors. It's like the love of neighbors and the unity of brethren, huh? So now, brother, what you got to start doing, brother? You got your fringes on. What's the next step? What you going to do next, brother? Get this brother. Let me get this brother the mic, brother. Right? What you going to do next, brother? You got the fringes on. What you going to do next?
Start up in a commandment studying, trying to be better.
All praise to you. Studying, doing the works of the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Give me Revelation 16 and 15.
Revelation 16 verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief.
And this is better than Esau bowing down. This is better than getting on the Ishmaelites. This is better than shaking their hand. This is why we out here, brother. Brothers drove 6 hours, 7 hours, no sleep. Just got off of work. And it's a beautiful thing to see this, man. So read it again.
Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garment.
No, he take his garment off when he go home.
Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garment.
Take his fringes off and say, yeah, that was all for show.
Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garment.
You gotta keep that garment now. Bless what?
Lest he walk naked.
Now that's sin, that's spiritually, brother. So when you are outside of the garments and the truth of the Most High, it is called being spiritually naked. You have no covering. Your covering right now carnally is the fringes, but your covering spiritually is the truth.
That's right.
Right? Read.
And they see his shame.
And they see his shame. We don't want to see your shame, brother. If I get beamed up in a chariot and the Most High have mercy on me and my wicked estate, I want to see you in a chariot, brother. Don't bother want to see him on a chariot. A crown on his head. I want to see him on a scepter of rulership. All praise to the Most High. And that's why we out here, brother. You got fringes on, brother. You came up. We didn't know what this was going to happen today, brother. We didn't know we was going to meet the brother, man. We driving, we sweating. It's hot. We're getting gas. And we're going to be late. We got to get everything in order. What's going on? And now the Most High brought the brother up with fringes on, man. Right? All praise to the Most High. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and 10. Right? 1 Corinthians 3 and 10. So now this is about taking steps, brother. Right? One step at a time. And Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh. And somebody hold Psalms 37 and 23. I want that first. Psalms chapter 37 and 23. 1 Corinthians, Psalms 37 and 23. I want that first. Right?
Book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse number 23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord.
The Lord brought you up here, man. Hey, all praise to the Most High, man. Well, you got Israelites coming up, man. Over to Greensboro, man. And we about to sell everything we have and come to Greensboro, man. We're not leaving, man. We're not going back to the Airbnb Nashaya, man. Right? We stand out here in Greensboro, man.
The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord.
Read that again.
The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord.
Read it one more time.
The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord.
The Lord directs every brother's steps, man. Rather people are down there doing God knows what, profaning the Sabbath, or rather men and women are up here receiving the words of life. Right? Rather men are traveling or people are walking on the sidewalk. Every step is ordered by the Lord. Now it says the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. And what?
And he delighteth in his way.
And the Lord delights in the way that he brings you in. Go on.
Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down. For the Lord upholdeth him with his hand.
The Lord is going to build you up and pick you up even in your low estate. Now, brother, do you know your nationality? Who are we, brother? What is our nationality? Or what they call our race? You said black? Black. Now, what is sign at? Where the 12 tribes at? Right here, brother. Now, we the Israelites according to the Bible. Right? Your socks are black. Right? Your skin is not black, brother. You're not black at all, brother. I mean, you're far from it, man. Look at your skin, right? My garments, my boots, my pants are black. We're not African American. Give me Psalms 44:14, Psalms 80 and 6, right? Give me the book of Lamentations, chapter 2 and 15, and Jeremiah chapter 15 and 5, and Deuteronomy 28 and 37, right? So, brother, how did we learn that we were black? We learned it from the so-called white man, straight up and down. When you were brought over here on slave ships, they gave you labels like what? Nigger. Then they called you a Negro, and a darky, and a sample, and a shine, and a colored. Then they gave you Afro-American. Then in the 80s, they gave you African-American. Then they gave you black, and now they have a foundational black American. Right, what else they got? ADOS, American descendant of slavery. Right, they bring it back colored. A lot of people are going with colored all over again. Huh? Yeah, minorities. So we're none of the labels given to us by the same society that's killing us. With knees in our neck and 60 shots in our back, man. Are you going to call yourself the label of the man lynching you and killing you still in 2022? That makes no sense, brother. Read what I call.
Book of Psalm 44 and verse 14. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen.
Byword is anything outside your God-given nationality. So when you identify as the names I listed before, black, Negro, that is a byword. Because God never called us black, man. Black people and African Americans. Nowhere in the Bible you see God saying, here's my black people, man. No, you have 18 nations of people in the Bible, man. And we read the Bible. We believe in the Most High. I know y'all believe in the Lord, but when we think about the Bible, we just think it's a book of stories, or we don't even relate to the Bible. Right? We take ourselves outside of the Bible when the Bible is actually about you, right?
That's right.
This is your book and your records. Everybody in the Bible of significance looks just like you, brother.
Right.
When I see you, I see King Solomon, brother.
That's right.
When I see you, I see Samson. When I see you, sister, we see Martha, we see Mary. We see you because when we read the Bible, we physically read verses of men in the Bible that look just like you.
That's right.
In the Bible.
That's right.
But yet the world portrays the Lord. Where's the enemy at? Right? Where's the sorcerer? Right. We got the sorcerer. Right? Here he is. Bring him up here. No, we want the enemy. Right? Who's this guy? Right? Let me ask you all a question. Right? We asked in Greensboro, North Carolina, who is this man?
Who is him?
Who is it? Sister, who is this man? We have $10,000 for anybody that can get this question right. Who is this man? Fake Jesus. When you say a fake, isn't that Jesus? Isn't that Jesus to Christ? What does Jesus Christ look like according to the Bible? Brother, with that $10,000, man.
Right.
You was kind of quiet, brother. Till the $10,000 came up.
Right.
No, but the brother's right. The brother's right, man. The Lord, we're going to read his description in the Bible, Revelation 1 and 13.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse number 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
So the Son of Man is another title for Jesus Christ. Good.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot.
Like the garment I have on, or the brother that's right there behind you, that's a garment. The Lord wore a garment. Right down to the feet, it was longer than mine. We don't. And why? Because that's how we dress. Doesn't every culture or every nation or race of people have a way that they dress when they're back in their homeland? You'll see the Chinese people with the fan and the long sleeves. You'll see the Arab people with the big turban on and the red dot in the forehead. You'll see what other nation of people. Right? You'll see the so-called African man with a spear and a loincloth on. You'll see all these other nations dress in the way that they dress in their homeland. You think we always wear skinny jeans, white tees, and Nike? No, brother. Why do we wear these things? Because these are the stores that the so-called white man has given you, and we don't question who we are. We just buy and buy and buy, and whatever they advertise via the rappers and celebrities, we keep up with it, brother.
Right.
But back in the ancient world, we wore garments. We wore mitres. Our women wore dresses. They wore hair wraps. We had stash in our hair and turbans and walking around with the words of the Lord, brother. This is who we are as a nation of people, right? And y'all got a right to know who y'all are, man. Y'all need to know who y'all are, man. Every other nation of people, they know who they are, man. Hey, the Chinese man, he comes to America, but he goes back home and he speaks Chinese. And he keeps the Chinese New Year. And he's eating damn cat wrapped up in a damn Ziploc bag or dog, man. Right? When an Arab man comes here, he goes back to Dubai and does what, man? Speaks his Arab language, wears his Arab clothes, and eats his Arab food.
That's right.
Now, what language do we speak? You see that? You think we always spoke English? No. Right? So we have to come back to who we are. And who we are is found in the Bible. So the Lord had a long garment down to the foot because that's how we used to dress. Read on.
And God about the paps with their golden girdle.
He had a golden girdle on. Y'all know what a girdle is? It's like a belt to hold up his garment. Read on.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Well, what?
Were white like wool. As white as snow.
What race of people have woolly hair? Woolly. So-called black. Right? So-called black people, we have woolly hair. The so-called white man doesn't have woolly hair. Look at him. They have stringy hair, spaghetti hair. Right? Y'all have woolly hair. And that's just being real. In the Bible, the Lord has woolly hair. Read on.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Does this man have fiery red eyes? No. Read on.
And his feet.
And his what?
And his feet.
And his what?
And his feet.
Your feet is the same color as your body. And his feet.
Like unto fine brass.
What color is brass? You said what? Brass, right. B-R-A-S-S. Like a brownish, right? Let's see how brown he was.
Feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
He was so dark it looked like he got burned alive inside of a furnace.
Hey!
Which means he would be what race? According to society, what would they call him? A so-called black man. Or was he really, did he ever say I'm a black man? Did he open a fist with a pick on the end of it and said I'm black and I'm proud? It had a red, black, and green flag, huh? Following did the Lord listen to Dr. Umar Johnson? Right, was he into patent Africanism? He didn't have the Marcus Garvey book that LeBron James is reading, man. He didn't have that, man. Give me Hebrews 7:14.
But the Hebrews, chapter 7 and verse number 14.
Here's how the Lord identified himself as a so-called black man. Not from D.C., not from Greensboro. He was from where? From Bethlehem. You understand? Born and raised in Nazareth. That's in the land of Israel, which is our true homeland. We were brought over here on what? On boats. From where? From the land of Israel. Right? Read that.
Hebrews chapter 7 and verse 14. For it is evident.
No, we really don't know.
For it is evident.
We are uncertain.
For it is evident.
And we know without a shadow of a doubt that what?
That our Lord sprang out of Judah.
He sprang out of Judah. So when the Lord walked the earth, he identified as an Israelite from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
That's who we are, brother.
Right.
Right? You got brothers up here from the tribe of Asher, from the tribe of Zebulon, Issachar, all manner of tribes. I myself, this brother, these brothers, they're from the tribe of Judah. Right? Now where y'all at on here? Right? It goes by the seed line of your father. Bring it up so they can see. It's kind of dark. It goes by what your father is. Right? So if you're looking on a sign, if your father's Puerto Rican, you would be an Israelite from the tribe of Ephraim. If your father's Cuban, you would be an Israelite from the tribe of Manasseh. If your father's African American or American black, you'd be from the tribe of Judah, etc. So where y'all at? You said what? Hey, give the brothers a hand or the sister a hand to the most high, man. Right, get a brother and a sister a hand. They're from the tribe of Judah, man. And the Lord is from the tribe of Judah. You mean to tell me you have a dark race of people in the Bible who are called the Jews? Now, when we talk about Jews now, or Jewish people, what race of people come to mind? White people, right? I'm not sure. I haven't been in Greensboro long, but y'all got Amalekite neighborhoods out there? You see me here and there, but you know I'm talking about the Jewish people with the nasty hat and the briefcase and the dirty trench coat, right? And the scruffy nasty beard, right? The Jewish man, he identifies as the people of the Bible. That's why he says he's a Jew. But the real Jews are what color? Go to Jeremiah 14:2.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 2.
Read it out.
Judah mourneth.
What the Lord say?
Judah mourneth. In the gates thereof languish.
They are what?
They are black.
What color are the Jews?
They are black.
Color's not in the Bible.
They are black.
Read.
Unto the ground.
Color is in the Bible. Don't let nobody tell you anything different. The Lord just said that the real Jews are what color? black onto the ground. So if God said the real Jews are black, who are these people who call themselves Jews today? I can't. The synagogue of Satan. Revelation 2:9. They say that they're Jews, but yet God said the real Jews are black. Make it make sense. How can you be so-called black for thousands of years and now you're white? Right? Does that make any sense? So what happened was, they actually are pretending to be you. You're the real Jews. You're the real people of the Bible. But yet, they gave you false lies like nigger, black, African American. They gave you weed, they gave you drugs, they gave you guns, BT, basketball. What else, man? Damn, Hennessy, blunts, backwoods, cornrows, jerseys, Timbs, liquor stores, and a Christian church, and they topped it off with white Jesus. And they gave you that to destroy your mind. So now y'all don't even know who y'all are. Y'all literally came up here identifying as a color out of a crayon box. Why are we the only people that's a color? Chinese man's not a color. Even people from Africa that are darker than you, like Ethiopians, Somalians, they never call themselves black people. Right? The East Indian man, he never called, that's a 7-Eleven, the corner stores. Some of these guys are darker than us. Do they ever say I'm a black man? Why are we calling ourselves a color? Because we're destroyed. We don't know who we really are. We just came out on a Friday night, smoke a blunt, go check out the park, get drunk, maybe go back, do God knows what. But those days are over. Right. This place is about to go down, brother. Right. And you need knowledge and understand. The Lord said, give me Isaiah 33:6. Wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy times, man. So we need wisdom and knowledge as a nation of people. We didn't have weed for too long. What good has weed done for us? Nothing. We didn't have Hennessy for too long, man. We didn't have white Jesus and the Christian church for too long. We didn't have all of these lies for too long, but when are we going to have true wisdom and knowledge to stabilize our mind, huh? Us as a nation of people. Read that. Book of Isaiah, chapter 33 and verse number 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy tongue. Read that again. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy tongue. Hey, guess what? The Chinese man has his wisdom, man. He has a language. He has a culture. He has a diet. He has music, man. Well, he has that understanding to stabilize him, right? Right? The African man has that. We don't have any wisdom or knowledge as a people, man. All we have is folly and mirth. Give me Ecclesiastes 7:13, man. And Ezekiel 21:10. But we're giving you wisdom and knowledge right now. Right, and this isn't something you can get at damn, what's the school in North Carolina, man? Damn, North Carolina A&T, man. Well, you can't get this from damn Duke or what else? The damn Tar Heels, man. NC State, the damn Wolfpack at ECU, East Carolina University, they can't give you this. Every institution that y'all have acquired any understanding from the age of 5 to the age of 18 on up, it has been set up to keep you away from who you really are. Why do you think that you never learned about yourself in the school system? And when you did learn about yourself, what date did they give you? What year did they always start off with? Y'all know? You said what? No, it's, well, before that, 1619. Don't they say, okay, Jamestown, Virginia, 1619. I'm sure y'all heard of that. So you mean to tell me the greatest people on the earth, the fastest, the strongest, the most dominant people, our history begins at 1619? And then next month at school, you learn about the Chinese man, but now you got to learn all the way back in BC times. 2000 BC, 3000 BC. But when it's time to learn about you, they don't have any understanding except 1619. Stop following these lies, man. They have strategically done this to keep you away from any history prior to you coming over here on slave ships. Because there's something that happened before you was brought over here on ships. You had a land before you was brought over here. You had a language before you was brought over here. You had order before you was brought over here. You had everything to stabilize you mentally and spiritually, and this is weapons of war to destroy your mind, so you just think that you've always been as a slave. Y'all gotta wake up, and it's our job to give you this. Ecclesiastes 7:13. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 13. Consider the work of Yahweh. 7-12. God. Verse 12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. Like I want Ecclesiastes 2 and 13. So lucky. I believe that's what I want. Right? Ecclesiastes 2 and verse 13. Then I saw
that wisdom excelleth folly, as far as light excelleth darkness. The wise man's eyes are in his head, but the fool walketh in darkness. And I myself perceive also that one event happeneth to them all. Then said I in my heart, as it happeneth to the fool, so it happeneth even to me. And why was I then more wise than I said in my heart?
Now jump to verse 18, that's what I want.
God, verse 18. Yet, yea, I hated all my labor which I had taken under the sun, because I should leave it unto the man that should be after me. God, verse 17. Therefore I hated life. What the Lord say? Therefore I hated life.
No, this is it.
Therefore I hated life.
I to be millionaires.
Therefore I hated life.
So our forefathers, they said they hated life, man. We hate this life right here, brother. We hate seeing our people on drugs, man. We would love to see all of the thousands, hundreds of people over there listening to music to come hear the words of God, man, and figure out who they are as a nation of people, man. We hate seeing this, man. We hate seeing our people on crack, on drugs, destroyed for a lack of knowledge, not knowing who they are, man. Read it again, therefore I what?
God, therefore I hated life.
What the Lord say?
Therefore I hated life. Why? Because the word that is wrought under the sun,
Because everything that you see is what?
is grievous unto me.
We didn't see no people destroyed.
Is grievous unto me.
You not know your nationality.
Is grievous unto me. Read. For all is vanity.
For what?
For all is vanity.
What about college degree?
For all is vanity.
What about being a millionaire?
For all is vanity.
What about being a celebrity?
For all is vanity.
What about weed?
For all is vanity. Greed and vexation of spirit.
See how wise our forefathers were, man? They said all this is vanity. I hate this life, man. I want a life when I'm in my own land. I want a life when my people know who they are. I want a life when I don't have to worry about being shot by the enemy 60 times in the back, or having a knee on my neck for 9 to 10 minutes, man. We hate this life, man. We hate America, man. Why? Because we're not from here. What's our homeland? What's our homeland? Give me Tobit 1 and 4. Give me Tobit 1 and 4 and Galatians 4. What is our homeland? Well, our people say, well, Africa. There's over 52, 55 countries in Africa. And if you go to any one of them, they're going to do the same thing they did to you, which is put you in slavery, huh? Go to Ethiopia right now, right? And see how they treat you, man. You can go in their stores and see how they treat you, man. You go to these corner stores, these 7-Elevens, and they follow you around. Right, they're sending people out, they're calling the police, right, they're calling you a nigger to speak in another language, right, and they say God knows what behind that thick, nasty glass. They're robbing you, things are $2, but for you, it's them $15, right, they're damn oppressing and extorting us as a people, man. You can go to anywhere and any earth, and you see the same heathen oppressing us as a people, man. Read that.
Galatians 4.
Tobit 1 and 4 first.
Tobit, chapter 1 and verse 4. And when I was in my own country, Tobit said, and when I was in my own country,
When I was in my own country, let's simply say the United States.
in the land of Israel,
In the what?
in the land of Israel,
Our own country.
in the land of Israel, being but young,
See that? He grew up, give me Baruch 3 and 9, in his own country, the land of Israel. You ever been to the land of Israel? They don't have prisons in the land of Israel. You don't have the police, and your kingdom, you're not going to have the police walking up and down in the land of Israel, man. You're not going to have struggling to survive mentalities and food stamps and hustling and grinding and rats and pollution and chemtrails and folly and vanity and wickedness and whoredom and murder and penitentiaries and all manner of wickedness, man. And your land, when you ruled, you had everybody else in subjection. But now we don't know that. We just think that we're what? Post-slavery are damn niggas in America, man. And you're here to get a check, retire at the age of 70, and then drop dead, man. Right, read that. Book of Baruch, chapter 3. That's all we want to do, man. Ride it, what they call slingshots, man. That's all we want to do, man. He think he made it, man. Why you think he made it? I'm in my slingshot, I'm gonna pass my nigga music so all the niggas can hear me, right? See what I got and you don't. Right? You see what I'm listening to and you don't. That's how we think as a people, man. We are destroyed. Read it.
Baruch, chapter 3 and verse number 9. Hear Israel, what the Lord say? Hear Israel,
Hear a nigga.
hear Israel.
Who are the Israelites according to the Bible?
We are.
Read.
The commandments of life
of the commandments in life. Go on.
Give ear to understand wisdom. How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land?
That's the question. How happened it? How did you end up in your enemy's land? Do we know how we ended up in slavery? Was the white man stronger than us and smarter than us? And he got us, and he put food on the ship, and we ran to the fried chicken on the bottom of the ship? That's what they say. We went into that yesterday. They said they put cornbread and fried chicken on the ship, and we ran to it. And they slammed the door. They said, God damn, they got him. That's off. So, that's a real life question. How do we end up in slavery? How do you end up in... Because God said America, did he say this is fun land? Read that again.
How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land?
That what?
Thou art in thine enemy's land.
This is fun land.
Thou art in thine enemy's land.
How did you end up in your enemy's land as a prisoner of war? God said this is your enemy's land, man. The Lord don't care about the skyscrapers and the lights and the paycheck you get and the bills and the iPhones and the cars and the government assistance and the freedom to walk up and down and do God knows what and sin against your maker. At the end of the day, this is your enemy's land. That's not enough. God wants to know, how'd you end up here? That's the question. That's the point. Yeah, this is your enemy's land, but how did you end up here? Do we know? Hey, guess what the Most High told you, right? I'm going to get two more, I'm going to pass it. Give me the classic of Deuteronomy 28 and 13. Right? This is why it happened. And give me Psalms 107 and 7 and Job 36 and 6. And give me Job chapter 8 and 3. Right? Give me Job 8 and 3 first. Right? Job 8 and 3. Right? We're not going to keep you all, but give me this.
Book of Job, chapter 8 and verse number 3. Does God pervert judgment, or does the Almighty pervert justice?
So that's a rhetorical question. Some people say, well, I can't serve a God that would put us in slavery. I can't serve a God that would pervert justice. That's not right that God put us in captivity. How come the white man wasn't put into slavery? How come the Chinese man wasn't put into slavery? God, you're wrong for doing what you have done to us as a people. Now here's the question. You think God would really pervert justice? You think God would make a wrong decision? I'm asking you think God would make the wrong move? You think he'll take a bribe and then he get paid off and then he do what he want to do? So that's the question. So which means we went into slavery not because God is off and wicked, but because what? Let's find out. Read verse 4.
If thy children have sinned against him,
If what?
If thy children have sinned against him,
If we as his children sin, meaning break God's laws and commandments,
and he cast them away for their transgression,
we were cast away. What land were we cast away to? To America, to Haiti, to the islands, to Trinidad, to Tobago, to Brazil, to Chile, to damn England, to France, Portugal. That's the transatlantic slave trade. That's 5% of our slavery. We have the Silk Road slave trade, the Oriental slave trade, the Sub-Saharan slave trade, the Mediterranean slave trade. We're the only nation of people that have been subject to slavery and scattered through the four corners of the earth. The Lord said because we have sinned against him, he cast us away out of our land. Read.
verse 5. If thou wouldest seek unto God the times,
And we're going to show you that more. Give me the classic real quick, Deuteronomy 28:68. Read.
Chapter 28, verse 68.
We're going to show you us being cast away straight out the Bible.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
God said, if you don't keep my commandments, I'm going to punish you by sending you back into Egypt again. Y'all know Moses. I'm sure y'all heard of Moses. Moses said, let my people what? Go. Why would he have to say that? What type of condition would his people have to be in order for him to go before a king and say, let my people go? You said what? It had to have been bad. How bad? Give me Judas 5 and 11. How bad? Right? Give me the classic. Because we may think bad is, okay, maybe they were they was on parole, right? Or maybe they got a timeout or a slap on the wrist. How bad were we living in Egypt? Read.
Judith chapter 5 and verse 11. Therefore the king of Egypt rose up against them, and dealt subtly with them, and brought them low with laboring and brick, and made them slaves, and made them slaves, and made them slaves.
We were slaves in ancient Egypt. When you look at Anubis and these pyramids and these monuments of Pithom and Ramses and Memphis and Noph and all these cities in ancient Egypt that everybody pays $10,000 to go and tour, We built those cities. We built those monuments. And we was in Egypt in slavery, and the Lord raised up Moses and said, let my people go. We got let go. And God said, all right, if you don't keep my commandments, I'm going to punish you and send you back into Egypt again. Not the physical land of Egypt, but send you back into what? Slavery. Slavery. Read 28 and 68.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. And the Lord,
and man,
and the Lord,
and the Lord
shall bring thee into Egypt again.
If you don't keep my commandments, I'm going to put you back into slavery again.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
On the plane.
With ships.
On the bus.
With ships.
In the Bible, God said his people would be sent into slavery on ships for breaking the commandments. It's in the Bible. This is not the textbook from your local library. We didn't get this from UNC. We didn't talk to Ivy League scholars and get this. We didn't go to Duke and talk to the dean and say, can you please tell us who we are? And they gave us a dusty book and said, here, nigga, you finally know who you are. No, it's in the Bible. If you want to know who you are, read the Bible. And stay off of the damn thing. Stop trusting in the so-called white man, And you go to Google and you're on Wikipedia. Who am I? All right, give me a DNA test. 23andMe. God said that you would be brought into slavery on ships due to you breaking the commandments.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
You can go back to your homeland.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
That's why you've never been back to your homeland, but everybody else has. God said, I'm not sending you back to your homeland.
Read. And there ye shall be sold.
Ye shall what?
Ye shall be sold.
Ye shall what?
Ye shall be sold.
The Lord said, once you get off those slave ships, you're going to bring it over. Right? Where the slavery sign at? Right? You're going to be sold. Right? We got pictures right here. Right? We got pictures right here of us in the plantations, us being lynched, us being brought over here and murdered and robbed. We were brought over here to slavery on ships. And the Lord said you'll be sold unto your enemies. Right? You'll be sold unto your enemies. There you have it right here. The auctioning block being sold. Don't we have last names? Davis, Johnson, Anderson, Smith, Jones, Williams, Scott, Robinson. Are these our last names? Man, these are the last names of the men that once owned you. Because you broke God's commandments, and the Lord raised up the worst nation over you. The nation that hates you. The nation that will kill you and shoot you in the back while you reach for your wallet. That will pull you over and CPS take your children out the back seat, right? Right? Because you didn't have the damn AC on, right? Right? Or the damn same people that will come and drop bombs on your communities, man. Right? Tulsa, Oklahoma, that will do race wars. These are the people that God raised up over you. The worst nation, which is biblically the Edomites. That's their God-given nationality, but we know them as the so-called white man. Which God said you were sold unto your
unto your enemy.
Unto your what?
Unto your enemy.
In the Bible, God is telling you something that Christianity will never expound on. They will never tell you in your Christian church that you have enemies, man. And I'm not speaking when it's an enemy within. It's the enemy of myself. I am my own worst enemy. No, your enemy are the people that you were sold to. It's in the Bible. This is not your great-grandmother's Bible, which is God loves everybody. Right? We just hold hands. Right? And you can come as you are. Right? No, God is telling you straight up and down, you'll be sold to your enemies for what?
That's right. For bondmen,
slave men,
and bondwomen,
and slave women,
and no man shall buy you.
So you can be free.
And no man shall buy you.
What about Malcolm X?
And no man shall buy you.
Matt Turner.
And no man shall buy you. And no man shall buy you.
Martin Luther King.
And no man shall buy you.
Obama.
And no man shall buy you.
No man will get you out of this condition but the Most High God. The Lord put you in this condition. You think Malcolm X is going to get you out of something that God put you in? You think Nat Turner is going to kill all of the so-called white people and deliver you when God, this is in the Most High's hands. This is of the Lord, this is not of man. Us being subject to the worst nation that has been created is only of the will of the Most High. So when people say, well, I wouldn't serve a God that would put us in slavery. I wouldn't serve a God that would do this to us as a people. The Lord Most High, give me Job 34:10. Right? The Most High never pervert justice. The Most High is not these judges. You know who perverts justice? The so-called white man, the court system. When there's a man shot in the back and now the jury can't figure out who did it. Hung jury, there is an acquittal. We don't know what happened. It's not enough evidence. Or they'll kill you in the streets and they'll get 2 weeks. pay, and they'll get a raise, right? And then they'll come back and do the same thing again, man. They literally shot a man how many times in the back? 60 times in the back. You know how much hatred and wrath, and I don't even know how many, I'm not a police officer, but how much ammunition one officer could carry on him to damn kill or shoot a man 60 times in the back, man. There have to be at least 10 guys just letting loose. Out there in Michigan, I believe that was Michigan, they literally got caught by using so-called black men, the Israelites, or faces as target practice. So when the police have to train from the cadet to be an officer and they have to go to the gun range, the faces they were using were men that look just like me and you, man. Right? This is what they do. Right? And this is ultimately due to us breaking the commandments. Now Job 34:10, read that.
Look at Job, chapter 34 and verse number 10. Read it. Therefore hearken unto me, ye men of understanding.
God said, listen to me, ye men of understanding. We've been listening to damn Joe Biden say, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. We've been listening to Obama. We've been listening to Martin Luther King. We've been listening to Malcolm X. We've been listening to Farrakhan. But what did the Most High say? Read that again.
Therefore hearken unto me,
Hearken unto man.
hearken unto me,
Hearken unto flesh.
hearken unto me,
Hearken to dust.
hearken unto me,
Hearken unto ashes.
hearken unto
The
me.
Lord said it's high time to listen to the Most High God, man. You didn't have your days listening to man, man. Creflo Dollar and damn Gino Jennings and damn T.D. Jakes and damn all these false leaders. The Most High said, well, read that again.
Therefore hearken unto me.
Do what?
Hearken unto me.
Do what?
Hearken unto me.
Meaning listen unto me. Read.
Ye men of understanding. Being far from God, that he should do wickedness, and from the Almighty, that he should commit iniquity. For the work of a man, shall he render unto him.
And what?
And cause every man to find according to his ways.
See that? So guess what? Whatever work you put in, you either get rewarded or you get punished for it. When you break God's commandments, this is the punishment right now. Being in the ghettos, the slums. Why do you think these other nations don't go what you go through? How come they're not in the projects? How come the man that came from North Korea yesterday owns a business in your hood and you've been there for generations and you getting shot by the same Korean man, man? Who got there yesterday, man? How come you get denied for the loan, man? And you've been saving up, working 2 jobs, and you want to open Dave's Fish and Chicken, man? Right? No, we can't approve you. Your credit is bad. The damn Chinese man came on a plane. He just got through TSA, and they're giving him the folder to open up a new business, man. How come these other nations prosper and we don't? How come the father leaves our kids, man? How come there's so-called black on black crime and not Hawaiian on Hawaiian crime? Or Japanese on Japanese crime, man? How come we're on crack? How come we're on drugs? How come we're so destroyed? All people don't know it. They'll chalk it up with maybe we should get a degree. Maybe because we don't have our money right. Maybe because we didn't go to church last Sunday. Right? Maybe because we didn't give to the poor. Well, God knows what. It's because you do not keep God's commandments. You rather smoke weed, eat pork, be a whore, be a thought, twerk your damn ass, sell drugs, shoot your brother, and commit all manner of evil, and you're wondering why you're in this situation today, man. Why can't we all get along? When are things going to change? Can you sign this petition? Can you join me and march for my son that's been shot? How about you keep God's commandments, man? How about you wear some fringes, put an air wrap on, keep God's commandments, stop eating pork, stop eating shrimp, stop eating crab, stop eating lobster, keep the Sabbath, love your brother, keep the Passover, keep the Pentecost, pull a beard up, put your hand, and keep the serve the Most High, man, and stop serving man. Read on.
Come. Salaki.
When you left off.
Verse number 5. Go on. Come on, Salaki.
Give me John 20:28.
Salaki, what verse am I?
Give me Job 34:12.
Come. Verse number 12. Yea, surely God will not do wickedly, neither will the Almighty pervert judgment. Who have given him a charge over the earth, or who have disposed the whole world? If he set his heart upon none, if he gather unto himself his spirit and his breath, all flesh shall perish together.
The Lord say,
all flesh shall perish together.
And what?
And man shall turn again unto dust.
And that's the power of the Most High. The Most High put us in this situation. So how do you get out of this situation? Do you vote, march, protest, go find Joe Biden, hotline? What do we do? turn to the Most High? Are we talking about this God? Are we talking about take the tambourine that your grandmother had on Sunday and shake it and say hallelujah like Jesus, man? What do we mean turn to God? And what God? And what is God's name, huh? How do we turn to the Most High God? These are things that we need to know, right? Give me Revelation 18 and 21.
This is the book of Revelation chapter 18 and verse 21.
All right, we have to turn to God. We have to repent, meaning acknowledge our sin, right? And now keep the commandments as the Israelites. Because when the Lord returned, he's only saving the Israelites, man. That's in the Bible. Nowhere in the Bible do you see God is coming to save the human race. Right? I'm here to save everybody that bleeds red. If you bleed red, you're with me. You're on my team. That's not in the Bible, right? Okay, man and beast that bleeds red, you're on my squad, right? That's not in the Bible. The Lord, who is the Lord coming to save? Let me show you. Because they may think we're making that up. Maybe you guys, you have a microphone, so you seem like maybe you know what's going on. It's in everything we've been showing you is out the Bible. We don't have a collection plate out here. We're not asking for no money, and we're not street performers. This is not a club, right? We're doing this because we love our people, man. We don't get nothing out of this except Most High will and mercy from Yahweh Bashim Abashai, man. We're not damn a Jehovah Witness with a pamphlet out here trying to recruit you to come to our church, man. So to pay tithes and make our pastor fat with a new Benz, man. The Lord sent us out here to do one thing and one thing only. Warn our people and teach them to repent, come back to me before this place goes down. Matthew 15:24, read that.
Got it. Matthew 15 and 24.
So here's who the Lord is coming to save. Then give me Revelation 18 and 21.
Book of Matthew, chapter 15 and verse 24.
And when it's written in red, that's what they call Jesus Christ. That's who's speaking, whose real name is Yahweh Shai.
Read. And it reads, but he answered and said,
But he what?
But he answered and said.
Can you show them so they can see that we're not making this up? Show them in Matthew 15 and 24. We want y'all to see this. We don't want you to think we're making anything up. Not that we would, but we want y'all to see it with your bodily eyes. As we read it in the Bible. Matthew 15 and 24. Read that.
That's right. But he answered and said,
I am what?
I am not sent.
I am what?
I am not sent.
I am what?
I am not sent.
Read.
But unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
That's in the Bible. The Lord is only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
That's right.
Because the Lord is an Israelite. He said he came to save his people from their sins. What are people that need to be saved? What are people on crack, on drugs, in the ghettos? What are the number one people filling up the prison complex, man? What are people that's destroyed for a lack of knowledge, with no sense of direction, who rather smoke weed, cigarettes, and do God knows what instead of learn who they are? If there's any of people that has to be saved, it will have to be us, man. Revelation 18 and 21. So repent, which is forsaking your sin to Yahweh, who's the real name of God, and come back to the Most High. As to what? What did God call us? You said what? What did God call us? His people, black people, niggas? Who are we according to the Bible? The who? The Israelites, man. The Israelites. The Israel. Did y'all hear them? They didn't hear you, man. Who are we according to the Bible? Take the mic, brother. Who are we according? Hey, let Greensboro know who we are.
Israelites.
Revelation 18 and 21. Read that.
Revelation 18 and verse 21. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, that's for violence.
That's for us.
That's for violence.
That's for marching.
That's for violence.
That's for Biden.
That's for violence.
Read.
Shall that great city Babylon be thrown down and shall be found no more at all.
Babylon the Great is the spiritual name of America, had a violent beginning with slavery, robbery, rape, bug breaking, extortion, murder. The Most High said the same violent beginning that you had, you're going to be thrown down with violence. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible. Genesis 49 and 1.
Book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together.
Gather yourselves together.
The individual.
Gather yourselves together.
The old thing.
Gather yourselves together.
I ain't kept.
Gather yourselves together.
Read, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last day.
And you living in the last days. You living in the end of the world. A famine is coming to America. World War III is coming to America. Russia and China and Iran are forming an alliance. Why are you smoking your blood? to destroy this city, man. So the Most High said, gather yourselves together that he may tell you what shall befall you in the last days. Give me John 12 and 28.
This is the book of John, chapter 12 and verse 28. This is the book of John, chapter 12 and verse 28. Father, glorify thy name.
What the Lord say?
Father, glorify thy name. Father, glorify thy name.
Y'all shall say?
Father, glorify thy name.
The King of Kings say?
Father, glorify thy name.
The Son of Man say?
Father, glorify thy name.
He then came there a voice from heaven saying, I have both glorified it and will glorify it again.
And with that, death to America!
Death to America.
Death to America!
Death to America.
Death to the white man!
Death to the white man.
Death to the Israelite!
Death to the white man.
Death to the Moabite!
Death to the Moabite.
Glory to Shalom!
Glory to Shalom.
Don't go anywhere. The next powerful dynamic speaker is going to talk to you, sister, edify you through the Spirit. Shalom!